Hi everyone, my name is Hallie Brown and this is my presentation on the historical events in literacy. My first event is the automaticity theory. The theory of automaticity was developed by LaBerge and Samuels with the purposes that automatic reading doesn't require focused attention, rather occurs instinctively. It is often defined as processing without attention. Reading involves the operation of multi-component and complex skills, which is why automatic processing theory has been such an influence for literacy instruction. According to Samuels, automaticity theory has been used in reading fluency to determine the ability of a student to look at words and read them without thinking, hence measuring students' words correct per minute. In other words, rather than using one's mental attention to purposefully decode a word, the word has been learned to the point that access occurs naturally and automatically. In return, students who have reading automaticity will typically have better reading fluency skills, which frees up more memory space to retain and comprehend the text. My second one is the Rumelhart's interactive model. The interactive reading model, as developed by David Rumelhart in 1977, describes a reading process and the way linguistic elements are processed and interpreted by the brain. The model combines both bottom-up and top-down aspects of reading to build meaning and memory for all learners. Therefore, Rumelhart believed that readers use information obtained at both higher and lower levels. The interactive model influenced teachers to take the approach of top-down aspects for teaching literacy. It also brought the great importance of including students' prior knowledge, since it produces the ability to guess meaning during the reading process. It is important to realize the success in reading relies on a combination of graphic and cognitive information to determine the meaning of language. My third event is the stage models of reading. Beginning in the 1980s, reading development was broken down into stages with skill sets and subgroups. This provided educators with a better understanding of the reading process as well as where the student is in the reading process. Teachers involved in literacy instructions are continuously involved in decision-making about the methods of instruction and the curriculum materials to employ with their students, and how to respond to their students' efforts along the road to skilled reading. Further, many teachers consider themselves ill-equipped by their teacher training to make their considered decisions in the best interests of all the students. Overall, I found this important to literacy instruction because the stage models of reading are beneficial for the educator. Attention to the stages of reading development highlighted by current research can provide a valuable framework for teachers that enables the interpretation of student reading performance and instruction appropriate to the needs of all students. My next event is culturally responsive teaching. Culturally responsive teaching can be described as multidimensional, empowering, and transformative. It is a pedagogy that uses students' customs, characteristics, experiences, and perspectives as tools for better classroom instruction. This pedagogy has influenced many educators, whole schools, and even curriculum-based materials. In my opinion, culturally responsive pedagogy should always be included. However, the influence it had on students' literacy development was significant. Understanding students' background assists in understanding their linguistic and dialect, and it is critical not to abolish their culture, but include it within their learning. For example, a student who is an English language learner and speaks Spanish at home can learn English while still learning proficient Spanish. By including culturally responsive literacy instruction, you are bringing more equity and equality into the classroom. My next event. This developmental theory is based on children learning from interacting with their environment, collaborating, and through play. Lev Vygotsky and Piaget's theory of teaching and learning has greatly influenced reading instruction. This theory alone has influenced early literacy's curriculum, such as reading recovery and guided reading. This theory is focused on a student-centered classroom, meaningful and productive collaboration, formal instruction, and academic play. Through this, literacy instruction gravitated towards a more constructivist approach. My next is the schema theory. The term schema was first used by a psychologist named Bartlett. It is defined as an active organization of past reactions or experiences. Schema theory is based on prior knowledge and emphasizes the mental connections learners make between pieces of information and is a powerful component of the learning process. In terms of literacy, the schema theory plays a big role in comprehension, stating that it is an interactive process between the reader's background knowledge and text, essentially making personal and logical connections with prior knowledge as you read. Schema theory has moved us away from a reproductive view to a constructive view. We are now using text as a blueprint while students create meaning. Rather, a text only provides directions for readers as to how they should retrieve or construct meaning from their own previously acquired knowledge. Next is the 6+1 writing traits. Writing has always seemed to be tossed on the back burner in literacy instruction. The 6+1 traits analytical model has influenced a shift from traditional instruction to developing writing skills and providing feedback on student writing. I have always leaned on this model for teaching writing since it is clear to follow and an easy way to assess students' writing skills. This trait-based method of planning, assessing, and revising writing is an alternative to holistic assessments and feedback, in which a student's essay receives only one single score. Therefore, the application of 6+1 writing model provides teachers and students with direct feedback on specific writing skills, giving targeted feedback, which in return helps promote growth in specific areas needed. Like the stages of reading, this model is beneficial for the educators in assessing and adjusting instruction to meet the needs of students. My last event is just technology in literacy. It's been no joke that technology has made a major boom in education. From when I was first in school using a computer lab to now having an electronic device for every student on hand. So yes, technology in literacy has been around for years, but it has had an overwhelming occurrence. Rather than just for reading and typing, technology is used to create movies, projects like making a newspaper, collaborative games, even whole curriculums like iReady are tech-based now. The use of technology is inevitable in some schools and has been proven to increase engagement and support learning. It has taken literacy into an even larger digital world. With technology, teaching has become more meaningful. There is now more visual learning that helps link written concepts with visual cues, audio learning, spell check, text-to-speech, and even voice recognition. These benefits assist educators in better assisting diverse students with different linguistic backgrounds. Some key takeaways of mine. So the first one to sum up is pretty much no matter the event, so if it's a model, theory, pedagogy, or a movement, literacy instruction has been influenced countless times over history and it's still continuously changing. Hence, I find the importance of keeping up on new and coming research involving academics. The second takeaway I have had, it made me think of how many models, theories, pedagogies, or movements have created similar outcomes in literacy, and they've impacted it in similar ways. So as a teacher, how do we tend to know which one to follow? Does this come back to our own teaching pedagogy and what we believe in? Or is there just an overwhelming amount of research to bring into your own teaching style? Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned some new events in the history of literacy.